This is a 2026 BMW M2 CS. The limited edition BMW M2 Competition Sport, or CS, returns for the second time on the M2. Of course, the M2 CS starts as an M2 and gets turned up a notch. And it offers many visual cues to tell it apart, which I'll show you in a moment. It's crystal clear that BMW brings mega power and handling prowess to this M2 CS. But how accessible is all that capability? In other words, can you enjoy it? Let's find out. But first, let's talk price. To get your hands on the keys to an M2 CS, prepare to part ways with at least $99,950. That's nearly 30 grand over a standard M2. And my test car did come with one option, $8,500 for ceramic brakes, bringing the total price to $108,450. Woof. All right, let's pull over and take a quick look around and inside this mega M2 CS. The new 2026 M2 CS stands apart from the standard M2 in many ways. And you can tell just by looking and reading. First of all, you get this carbon fiber side view mirror cover and carbon fiber roof as standard equipment. And this CS specific and rather spiffy rear diffuser, also in carbon. And this trunk with this beautiful ducktail spoiler. It's made from carbon fiber reinforced plastic and holds 10 cubic feet worth of stuff. Not bad. You also get these gorgeous standard forged alloy aluminum wheels with Michelin Pilot Rubber 4S rubber mounted on them. Very, very good. And behind that, you'll see our one and only option, the $8,500 ceramic brakes. By the way, these are 19-inch wheels in front, 20s in the rear. They're also wider in the rear, so they're staggered both in diameter and width. But it also says it's an M2 CS here, part of this gorgeous front grille, back here, and inside, here, and even on the doors on both sides there. Oh, and here too. It also stands 0.2 of an inch lower to the ground, courtesy of a different suspension tune, and generally looks stunning. Looking at the M2 CS in profile, you get a nice look at the Portimao blue metallic paint. That is one of 4 colors offered on the M2 CS. 3 of those 4 are standard. Portimao blue metallic is one of the standard colors. And this gives you a sense of the size of the M2. It's small, a lot smaller than the other M's, but bigger than I expected. Open the door and you immediately see a lot more carbon fiber, especially in these M bucket seats. Now these are still heated seats, but they're very aggressive. Look at the huge bolsters down low, mega bolsters up here, and you have adjustable bolster here. It'll squeeze you tight, trust me. Plus, you've also got this bit right here, so it really holds you in place snugly. Also, this headrest right here is removable for helmet clearance. Also, we do have a second row. You can seat 2 back here. There's no middle belt, and it looks comfortable enough for somebody, but not for me. Here's a nice first look at that Alcantara flat bottom M steering wheel right there with these carbon fiber shift paddles right there. Very serious intentions. Oh, and of course the M1 and M2 buttons right there. I'll talk about that in just a moment. Inside the CS, it's even more serious than it is outside. Of course, we've got the flat bottom steering wheel with the red stripe to indicate center. The steering wheel itself has a lot of carbon fiber on it. The dash has a lot of carbon fiber on it. The lower center console, lots of carbon fiber, and just purposefulness and seriousness in every aspect of this car. To be honest, I love it. Right now, I have the steering wheel set up, pushed in and up high, just so I can get in more easily, but definitely manually you can adjust the tilt and the telescope to get the steering exactly where you want it. Push button start is down here. The M exhaust is on right now, so it's a little bit louder, and I don't mind that, but so you can hear me, this is the quieter exhaust right there. There is our 12.3 inch digital instrument cluster and our 14.9 inch center display. And you can see right here, we do have wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto built into it. We also do have a head-up display to make use of, and the BMW Operations Center. This is generation 8.5 of that, plus another look at our Prindle. We are 8-speed automatic only, but we get built into it 3 different levels of shifting. So if I put it in drive, and then I play with this dial right here, it'll pop up on the screen. That's the 2nd level and the 3rd level of intensity of the shifts. We do have a sound system. The controls for it are right here. It is a Harman Kardon sound system, and I'm sure it's lovely, but I haven't turned it on. We do also have a wireless smartphone charger and a USB port right there. And we do have a little bit of luxury in this car. We have heated seats for both front passengers and a heated steering wheel as well. But really, all of that is superfluous. The one thing we really need to talk about is drive modes. We have our stability control on-off button right here, and if I press that, you can see that we actually have 3 levels: on but dynamic, and completely off. We also have M mode right here. If I press that, that gives me the driver assistance settings for road, sport, and track. We also have setup right here. This is how you set up the different aspects of the engine that can be adjusted. So we have engine, adjustable shock absorbers, adjustable steering, and the adjustable brake aggression. Also, you have the M traction control. If you want to play with drifting around a bit, those kinds of things, that helps you with that. I've fussed around with this a bit and built it into my M1 and M2 drive modes. These are all the different things I can adjust. All of it right here, including the start-stop button, stability control, everything. Transmission has 6 different levels, D1 through S3. For M2, I have it at the strongest setting. For M1, 1 level up from the softest setting. So it's interesting that there's not specifically drive modes in the M2, but tons of ways to adjust the way it drives. And we've talked long enough. Let's see a little bit more about how this thing drives. Okay, let's dig into the powertrain. Under the hood lies a twin turbocharged 3-liter inline-6 engine that develops a mighty 523 horsepower and 479 pound-feet of torque. That beats the standard M2 by 50 horsepower and 36 pound-feet. Unfortunately, an 8-speed automatic is your only transmission choice, but power does still carry on to just the rear wheels. With all the above, I'm sure it's no surprise that fuel economy isn't great. You get 16 miles per gallon in the city, 23 in the highway, 19 combined. What's cool about this engine is that BMW ditched its twin power, twin scroll single turbocharger for 2 smaller turbochargers that each feed 3 cylinders. This setup just works better to develop big power, and I love that. And I love that this engine revs past 7,000 RPM despite its turbos. Very good. If I floor it, I mean, once the transmission kicks down, you get immediate thrust. This is an automatic transmission, and that is a little bit of a bummer, I'll be honest. But as transmissions go, this one's hard to beat because BMW allows you to go super high strung with it. So now I'm in the firmest setting for it. Floor it again. Ah! Oh man. First of all, the kickdown's faster. And second of all, you get the thrust, and then the shift just comes immediately. It just pounces, and you get this hard jolt back into the seat from the shift, and then off you go again. I'm gonna do it one more time. Floor it. Oh man. Just feel that. You can hear how quickly the engine sound changes. The shifts are so fast in the fastest setting. Yes, a manual transmission is more engaging, but this is certainly faster. This is beyond what any human can do. And on the road, I would prefer the manual, but this is meant to be a very track-capable machine, and to have that capability to change gear that quickly, there's value in that. I love inline-six engines. I love the smoothness, the inherent balance of them, and when they're throaty and open like this, oh, what a great sound. Now, just flooring it here and there while you're already moving is one thing, but what is this car like to accelerate from a standstill, especially if it has launch control? Of course I had to test that. Let me show you right now. All right, time for an acceleration test. We've got a lot of horsepower. We've got a lot of settings. We do also have a launch control, but it is pretty persnickety. I think I've got it all set up to work, and I've got a camera on it to show if it does work, but we'll see what happens. I am in the M2 drive mode, and I do have stability control completely off to make it all work. That's what you need for launch control to be active. Then it's a firm press on the brake, floor the accelerator, and then we'll get the notification that it's trying to operate. Okay, coming to a complete stop. Foot firmly on the brake, floor the accelerator. Preparing launch control active, off the brake. Oh, pretty small. Oh, but the shifts. Oh, man. Oh, good Lord. Whoa. Whoa. This car comes alive when you really start to push it and makes some fantastic choices. Modern technology served us well here. I was ready for a smoky, burnouty kind of thing, being just rear-wheel drive, but it really relied on the torque down low of the turbochargers to carry us through, and we started from a pretty low RPM, not much wheel slip, and then we just took off. And the shifts, my goodness, those might be the fastest shifts I've experienced in a road car ever. BMW says 0 to 60 in 3.7 seconds. And obviously, by the amount I laughed during that test, I believe them. I think it can do that easily. All right, let's dig into the chassis. We get the most common suspension geometry in the M2 CS, struts up front, and an independent multi-link setup at the rear. But, as you can imagine, the CS gets one of the most aggressive tunes of that suspension on the market today. Speaking of tune, this is fundamentally a very common chassis setup, but this has double ball joints to really allow the suspension to articulate precisely. It has tons of aluminum components to lighten the unsprung load of the suspension and allow it to work faster and work a little bit better. And it's tuned beautifully. BMW changed the spring rates and the shock absorber settings and the chassis controls on the CS compared to the standard M2. Everything is dialed up. Everything is stiffer and quicker witted than the standard M2. And it's got less weight to move around. I showed you those forged aluminum wheels and all that carbon fiber on this car. BMW says that the CS is 97 pounds lighter than the standard M2 with the automatic transmission. That is a healthy number. And you can just feel how lithe and lively this car really is. If I turn the wheel, yeah, I mean, I get immediate reaction from the front end and not very much body roll. And that's in the softest settings. Go to M2, turn the wheel again. Oh my gosh, yeah. Everything about this M2 chassis is crisp and quick-witted and precise. All that said, the ride isn't bad. It's certainly not cushy, but it absorbs the bumps just fine. As long as you're in the softest setting, it's not too bad. But of course, BMW made this to be a very capable machine. So, yes, it's nice to know what the ride's like, but how does it handle? I definitely had to test that as well, and I enjoyed the test. Spoiler alert. Let me show you right now. All right, time for a handling test. Very, very excited about this. See how this M2 CS feels. Proper Michelin rubber, proper suspension, very hunkered down, and plenty of drive modes to work with as well. So, with that in mind, I will put it in M2, and I'm getting the warning that I have limited stability control. Still saying yes to that. And there it is. See how it feels? Yes, plenty of power. Wow, responsive too. Wow. Wow. We're dealing with lots of grip here. I just noticed my G-meter 1.43 of lateral grip in the last corner. Yeah. Ah, this thing feels so planted. Wow. Oof, man. Oh, man. This feels so good. Oh, that's glorious. Okay. I was a little nervous, to be honest with you. The level of intensity that this car just kind of brings naturally made me a little nervous that it wasn't gonna be great at the limit. It was gonna feel a little artificial. Man, not the case at all. It's light, it's lively, it's neutrally balanced, and it's pretty darn easy to feel the limit despite the fact that the limit is so freaking high. I mean, the numbers I was pulling in a street car in terms of lateral G, assuming that that G meter is accurate, wow, okay, just wow. Once you really learn this car and you can really get your hands slow and just dialed in, oh, this thing is gonna be mega. Man, I love it. Any car, every car, at some point in its life is gonna end up on the interstate. Of course, the M2 CS is no exception. I did test it there as well. Let me show you that. Time for a quick stint on the interstate. See how this M2 CS feels in the more pedestrian settings. I do have a different screen to look at slightly. It shows you directions, and if you have navigation running, it shows you that as well. I do still, it is a modern era after all, have a lot of driving aids as well. Okay, cruise control is set at 78 miles an hour to go with traffic. And let me briefly show you that screen I'm talking about. So you can see that we have a nice display of the road ahead, and then it shows us the direction we're heading. And now that we're going through a curve in the road, I'll take my hands off the wheel. This is more of a lane departure. And yeah, we kind of bounced to the edge of the lane and then kind of drifted back into the center. But it's more than nothing, certainly. More fundamentally, I'm very happy with the amount of cabin isolation we have. The engine in 8th gear is humming along at just under 2,000 RPM, and there's just a little bit of wind noise I can hear right here at the top, but it's very quiet, very subdued. The tires are nice and quiet, and this is just a pleasant, quiet cabin to be in. Yeah. So, what do I think of this M2 CS? the second generation 2 Series turned all the way up to 11. I was genuinely nervous about what BMW was going to do with this. Was it going to be so high strung that it was actually going to be high stress to drive? But this M2 proves that BMW still has some of that secret sauce left, because this is accessible. The fact of the matter is, I haven't felt this connected to a car in a long, long time. I'm Robin Warner. Thank you very much for watching. One more time. Oh.